You're now tuned into another episode of Gam and Mz Podcast. I am Gam, and of course, I got my sidekick, my co-host,
Mz Gogetta.
And today, y'all, we have another special episode as we do every Thursday. But today is even more special, y'all, because I was telling our guest today, General Mike Payne. You said General, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. I was telling him that this is like his third, either fourth time here on the podcast. So he's basically family. Like, he's part of Gam and he don't even realize it. He don't even know it.
Oh, I know I'm family. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yes, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, hold on. I said, we've been doing it. It'll be 5 years in April, and you're the only guest that has been with us this many times.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm honored to be here. You guys have a wonderful podcast, wonderful platform. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, always.
You definitely should feel honored, though.
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to get right on to our episode. But before we get started, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners of Wait Again a Minute?
Yes, I am General Mike Payne, national leader of the original Black Panther Party.
Okay, so how long have you been doing it now?
Now I am coming up on 8 years.
Wow, so you about to be a vet. Two more years you'll be doing it. Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah.
But does it feel like 8 years though?
Not at all. I love doing it. You know, I love helping our people. I love being there for our people and trying to do the best we can to be a safeguard for our people. So
yeah, it's
a pleasure.
So let me ask you this. So being okay.
Updates, you know, there's a difference in our people, you know, but as far as the party goes, we still have a lot of the same things. The 10-point program, of course, has been updated to go with the times of now.
What's the 10-point program?
The 10-point program is what we pledged to do for the community, but what the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense had 10 points that they went by, 10 things that they wanted to see done, you know, from the government standpoint and what they needed and what our people needed. So it was the things that they wanted. Now it's more so what we want and what we pledged to do.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. So is there a difference? Because I noticed you said, you keep saying the party. So is there a different one?
Well, yeah, there's a whole lot of different formations of Panthers, but when we're just talking about the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, that was their actual name. I know people will say, yeah, the original party, which they are the original party, but we go by the original Black Panther Party because we go by the same ideology as the original Black Panther Party. There's other Panthers that have different ideologies and things of that nature. So to make sure people know who we are, what we stand for, and what we do, and we can trace our leadership lineage directly back to the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. So that's one of the things that was really important, you know, to me, even when I started the chapter in Virginia. But after I became the national leader, it was just like, wow, you know, we really have that connection.
Okay, so you're not just Virginia leader, you said the national?
Correct,
leader?
yes. Yeah, we got chapters all over the United States, and we're still spreading and moving around. And it's been maybe 3 years almost? 2 years, 2.5.
That you've been a national leader?
Yeah, about 2. Yeah. So
did you have to get voted into that position?
Actually, the person that was leading right before me, Daryl Farmer, King Rick, he was the one who sat me down and he said he was ready to retire. And yeah. So.
Oh, wow! Congratulations.
Yeah, our lineage actually. So to make it short, our lineage actually goes from, if you go from Dr. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. You have Michael McGee Sr., who started a Black Panther Party in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And under him came Daryl Farmer, and that's where he was Michael McGee's bodyguard at the time. And even when Elmer Geronimo Pratt would come to the city, he would also bodyguard for him. So they were, you know, doing that back then, and that's when, you know, of course, around when COINTELPRO started hitting really hard and they pushed the Panthers underground and they kind of, you know, everybody kind of went away. Michael McGee Sr. came back with the Black Panther Militia. And then when he retired, that's when Daryl Farmer said, you know, okay, we're going to be the original Black Panthers and we're going to continue on. And then, you know, when he retired, I took over and here we are. Wow.
So what made you want to do this? Like,
you know, I got to a point in life where I just really just said, wow, what's next? What do you want from me? You know, in prayer, you know, so it was, what do you want from me? And, you know, because I would get very far in certain endeavors and I was doing very well. But, I never was where I personally wanted to be. And, I didn't know what was next. So I sat there, I prayed on it, and, certain things started to come to me. Certain things were kind of put in my mind, and, I was able to get out in the community and help people with certain things. And like I told you, I used to do music. So I had made a song called Black on Black, and that was talking about the Panthers and different things of that nature. And once I did that, it gave me a light bulb moment to say, well, can this actually happen? So I started seeking it out, and I found what I was looking for.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have. I'm not that type. Like I was telling you in the conference room, everybody should know their lane, and what I'm saying. I'm the type of person. I'm like, I play it safe. You know what I'm saying? I play it safe in my lane. So doing what you guys doing, like going to communities and stuff like that, especially on. Normally when I see you guys in the community, something has happened. So it's already escalated. It's already, a lot going on. And then here y'all come, and then people, are hella disrespectful at times or whatever. And they see y'all. And I know me, I probably be like, I don't know if I can sit there and hold my composure, how, your organization, how your members do. Like I see them so composed, but at the same time, they're looking, seeing what's going on, but I just couldn't sit there and just not say nothing.
Yeah, it's one thing, like you said, you happen to see us when we get to the community when something is going on, but the community gets to see us like all the time. They see us like we're always through there, so they always like, we have a great respect for the community. They respect us. We've never had a problem really in the community like that. Unless it's been with like the police or. We have a few domestic disputes we've had to save a few sisters from, but other things like that. As far as the people go, we've that's what we're there to protect them. So yeah, we've done good there.
I'm sure. Now, what is one of the misconceptions that people have about your organization that's like at an all time, like they just be so far off?
Well, we get a lot of different things, and it depends on what people, I've heard a lot, but
what you mean, what people?
Yeah, so if you're talking about like if you talk about white people, they would say that we're a hate group, right? They will try to liken us to the Klan or something like that, so that they can fulfill their guilty feelings that they have about starting a group like that. But we're nothing like that. We've never hunted down people. We don't bomb people in churches and kill kids, hang people. We don't do that's not us, right? So we've never did those things. So the biggest misconception is that we're a hate group. But we've heard all type of stuff because of lack of education, especially within the school system. They don't like to teach about anything that will fight back. They'll teach you all the docile things that you could possibly want to hear about, but as far as fighting back, those are the people you don't hear much about, right? So a lot of times, even our people don't hear much about the Black Panther Party for self-defense, and they're surely not going to hear that we exist now. I've heard it all. We were walking through the community one time, and somebody accused us of killing. Malcolm X. They said we killed Malcolm X. I said, what?
It's a stupidness.
But I don't, it's all good because it's a lack of education, and a lack of history. And just like now, we have history being pulled out of schools. We have all the DEI, all that stuff. So so with that, we've been saying it for years, and hopefully now maybe people will start to listen to us. But we've been saying we must educate ourselves. It's our jobs to educate ourselves. Don't wait for them to give us Black history. Don't wait for them to give us these things. They can't give us something they don't own. This is ours, and it's our job to really put it out and empower our children and whoever else needs to learn it.
Right. Stay right there. You said something important. You said about Black history, right? And how do you feel about 40? I call him 47. How do you feel about
Donald?
You call him what?
Donald.
You don't know that man personally? We call that man Donald.
I don't care.
But anyway, 47. What are your thoughts on him trying to take Black history? Teaching Black history in the schools.
As far as taking it out of the schools?
Taking it out of the schools.
Yeah.
How important is it to you? Do you think is important? You know, how important to keep it?
I think
Teaching it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to keep it in the schools, but the problem I have is even when it's not like he really took much out, because of the fact is it was watered down in the first place.
Exactly.
You know, so they didn't have, you know, I was blessed to be able to go to a Black history class in my high school for one of my high schools for the time I was there. But typically, most of us don't get that till college, you know, so yeah, it's important, but I would want it there the way it's supposed to be there.
Right.
I don't want that watered down version of our history. I don't want to just sit and talk about slavery. There's so much more to us as a people. But you know, we have what we have.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's important. I do want it there, but like I said, we must educate ourselves. You can't expect anyone who's oppressing you to empower you.
Exactly.
A person that's oppressing you is not going to empower you.
Right.
That wouldn't make sense. So I don't expect it from them. You know, I expect us to do it.
Yeah. You know, and I do, since you said it that way, I do agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Because they only gonna give us but so much. So it's up to us to actually, you know what I'm saying, dig in there and try to find out more about it. And even like with the parents, like that's a good thing too, to teach them what you know.
Yep.
As well, because that's just like sending your kid to school.
A lot of parents don't know nothing. They got the watered down version. Like when I was in school, we got the watered down version too. So I'm gonna teach my kid the watered down version. They might as well go to school and get the same thing. The watered down version.
I cannot worry. You're like,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm teaching them what I was taught, which is, you know, nothing. But there's a whole lot of other stuff that even as I got older, I found out about. But I didn't know none of it in school.
Yeah.
You know. So, and their little version of Black History Month is to keep playing the same thing from Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I mean,
but I noticed I really didn't hear too much about it, even like this year or last year.
Mm.
And even that's starting to become
you absolutely
real
right.
water.
You're absolutely right. And I don't take nothing from Dr. Martin Luther King. Like, I don't. But he's not the only one.
Yeah. You get him, Harriet Tubman, George Washington Carver, you know, with the peanuts and all that, which is great man. Did a lot of great, you know, but... You know,
there's others.
Yeah.
The stuff was going on. Absolutely. So, how important is it for us, like, far as community policing, or do you think it's important?
Yeah, and that's one thing we still do is community policing. We're always in the community. We're always, you know, we can't be everywhere, you know, but we do the best we can to go through the neighborhoods, at least our communities. I think it's extremely important. We've actually caught people doing certain things, the police. We've caught them before where, I think I've told this story before, but we've caught a car driving, police running behind the car, a couple kids jump out, probably stole the car or whatnot, allegedly, you know, they steal the car or whatever. The police, I know you're going to jail, you know, but you're not going to mishandle them. You're not going to put your knee on their neck, none of that. It's not going to be that while we're standing there. That's not going to happen. So we've had them situations, and they act accordingly. They do what they're supposed to do. They know people are watching them, you know, especially if we're watching them. And, you know, so we've had plenty of situations like that, and I think it's extremely important, extremely. We've even had a girl run behind us while the police were chasing them, you know, and they were unlawfully chasing this young lady.
Right.
You know, had the wrong description and everything. So, you know, but, yeah, it's important.
So if you happen to be there and the police do put their knee on their neck and handle them rough, exactly what you and your team, what are y'all supposed to do, or will y'all do? Like,
stop it.
Because, you know, people be out there watching a lot of times. A lot of times they just pull out the phone and record, but they might yell, stop, stop, stop. And I'm like,
well, I agree. Somebody will be recording, you know, somebody will be doing that, as well. But yeah, he'll be fine, or she'll be fine. She'll live. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you on that, though. And, you know, that was actually a good question, Ms. Gogetta, because, you know, a lot of people do, first thing we do is pull out our phones.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to record. And I probably do the same thing. Pull out my phone and record, too. But,
that runs my blood pressure up. Like, why y'all recording? Nobody's doing nothing. Ain't anybody call another cop or whatever. Like,
but see, and that's what we all, I think, get in the mode of saying. It's like, when is somebody going to do something? You're somebody.
Yeah.
I'm somebody. You're somebody. We're all somebody.
But what
True.
I might want to do, I might not supposed to do.
Might not. But that individual will hopefully live. Like, take George Floyd, for instance, right? There were so many people there watching,
Yeah.
watching, you know, but you literally watched the man die.
Yeah.
And they didn't
Right
care.
before
The
your
officer
eyes.
didn't care nothing about it.
Right.
Now-
But we have to care about our people, you know, enough to where, and see, I think that's the problem. I think that we face, and we're always asking and protesting and things like that. And I get it; those things are needed. But I think the reason why the government in America doesn't take us seriously is because they know deep inside most of us will not lay down our lives for
Right.
each other.
That's
You see what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
And when they know we won't lay down our lives for each other, they say, okay, well, they're going to go tear up something. They're going to shake their fist. They're going to go out here and yell out some things and this, that, and the third. And tomorrow it'll be
It's
over.
over, yeah.
Everybody will go back to work.
Yeah.
Everybody will make a couple posts and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
So we have to get to the point where we let them know, we ain't.
You mean business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely true, though. A lot of people do that. Like, and I see that even in my community. People, you know, if it's hot, everybody's on it. And then, you know, a couple of days, they going on about their way and, you know, like you said, going back to reality.
Right.
So what would you say to someone to encourage them to know that they're somebody? Basically, just like you said, that there's somebody and they should get
Will you
involved.
encourage them to let them know what they should do if they see a situation like that?
Right. One thing that works really well, especially for older women, right? Older women, if there's an older woman that's there, they should just lay their body on the individual. The police typically don't, you know, start striking or beating that older woman. They know that just makes it worse. They just, you know, so that's it. She ain't got to fight the police or nothing. She just lay over, you know. When a man gets involved, it's going to be a fight because they feel that they're being, you know.
They act like they being threatened.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they threaten.
And that's not saying I encourage the women to just jump out there and start, you know, whatever. But I just know that's one thing that has, you've seen it through history, been a thing. You know, of course, when you go too far in history, they get whacked right on the head too. But, you know, for the most part, we all just have to do our part and jump in there and really just, you know, say, hey, this is enough. Look, it's got to stop. I always talk about when Brother Swift had got shot over, what was that at, near the Save-A-Lot, over off of Church Street. And the police had shot him. And the community, you know, was in outrage, and we were chest to chest with the police. We actually were taking off and about to leave. When it happened, we were getting in the cars, and we saw him, you know, we heard the shot, of course. We saw him, you know, get shot down. But we were chest to chest with the police that day, you know, and he was able to get the ambulance, the help he needed, and whatever would have you. But, you know, just doing nothing doesn't work. We know that doesn't work, right? Yeah. So we have to just do something, you know. Recording is one thing. You know, recording is something, you know, because now you have them on tape. They can't just sit there and lie about the body cams and not release footage and all that type of stuff. But you have to do something, you know. So that just don't do nothing is my point.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you've been doing it 8 years now. Now, I understand you have kids, right? Mm-hmm. So, and you guys are always in the community. Like, how are you balancing, you know, being a dad and being out in the community?
Very carefully. You know, doing what we do, we honestly don't know if we even get to make it back home, you know, because sometimes things do get a little wild and whatever, what have you. But, you know, you treat it like a job. You know, you got to go to work. You got to go wherever you go. You come back home, you know, and you take care of the kids and keep it moving, you know. So, it's one of those things. Yeah. You know, but I look at it like, you know, you see people like we said, Dr. King. You see people like Brother Malcolm X. You see, you know, Marcus Garvey, and so on and so forth, right? They got us to this point, right? So I look at myself and I say, who am I not to get us to the next point?
Right.
You know, who am I to not do my part? We all have a part to do. They did their part. They
Right.
got us to a stage. The next one took on the torch and got us to another stage. And here we are now. We got to keep moving, you know, because we're not there yet.
My point exactly. We're not there yet. Like, but you've been doing it for a while now, and I'm sure you had to read up, you had to study everything that you know, right, in order to be in the position that you're in. Looking back from then to now, it seems like, to me, we still have a ways to go. Because prime example, a couple of weeks ago when 47 did the saying he's gonna cut Medicaid and all that, I'm like, oh my God, it's like, this is how I get paid, like this is about to be crazy, you know. So some of the it was like even though I wasn't born during those times, but just reflecting back on what I heard and what I know, it just seemed like history was repeating itself. So how does that make you feel, you know, that you've been doing it and now it's like you're in the thick of it again? Just a new era.
Yeah. So you said I've been doing it and now it's different because he's the president?
Yeah, because from what you were taught and you've learned, right? Some of the things some of the injustices that we've had, some of the things that, you know, took place, it seemed like it's happening again. It's just in your era now.
Right. Well, see, this hasn't surprised me because before Trump, before, you know, whoever, we've been talking about this for a long time. You know, we've been saying that we have to do for ourselves. We have to not rely on the government. We have to not, you know, we have to, you know, I understand people using things for portions of time that you need to use them for. But after that, you have to be able to self-sustain. You have to be self-sufficient in every type of way. You know, whether it's work, you know, you should be having, even if you start a business, whatever it is, even if it doesn't make all the money you need it to make, whenever that guy fires you or whatever would happen, you can lay back on something. You know, you have something. But you know, we rely on the government far too much.
Too much, yeah.
Yeah. So I never seen it as a thing, you know, of real difference because, you know, it's always been about the same. I don't expect certain things from them. You know, we will force them to do what we can force them to do, but I don't expect it.
Right.
You know, but you know, like with him being there in office, you have certain groups of people that all of a sudden think like, oh, now they back in the 60s and they have more rights now. They can say and do certain things. And I don't know if you have seen like on social media or whatever, where they have these groups, these supremacist groups, walking down the street now trying to start problems.
Yes.
Do you see them coming over here doing that?
To Virginia?
I heard.
757.
No. I mean, not that they wouldn't or they couldn't. You know, they could try. You know, I don't see that going well.
Right?
Yeah, I don't see that. Just, you know, I don't see that being a thing. I don't. You know, but they do in certain areas. We ran into the Proud Boys at what was that called? Lobby Day. Yeah.
You know, they can't use the name Proud Boys no more.
No, it's okay.
Because a black man bought the name.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
A church that they tried to like destroy or bomb or something like that. They went and bought the name. Then they have full trademark rights to the name Proud
lovely.
Boys.
Well, the guy who just got Enrique, whatever, just got arrested the other day. He was one of the ones that was pardoned by
Donald.
Yeah, about 47, in the insurrection, what it was called, and so he went up there. A lady was protesting as well as he was, whatever, and he hit her. He had Proud Boys on the back of his head. He was going off too.
Yeah.
But
He was hollering Proud Boys.
But see,
stuff.
and that's the thing
they can't
when we
use it, so now they're hollering Proud Boys, but it's owned by a black man.
Yeah, when we ran into them, they did not have that energy. It was nothing like that. It was you know, hey, we're not who people paint us to be, and we're not that, and you know, we should sit down and talk. Yeah, it was all that. It was sit down and talk. You know, so it was a very different energy. You know,
So what state was this in?
it was here. It was in Lobby Day out in Richmond.
Oh, Richmond. Okay,
Oh,
lobbyists.
really?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. You know what Lobby Day is, right? The,
What
I
all
don't. Would the
when
lobbyists be there?
Well, all the lobbyists go
No,
there
with-
and
with-
you lobby for whatever it is you trying to pass?
with the 2A movement, and everybody goes there with their weapons and all
Oh
that.
no!
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, you go there with your
Oh.
weapon?
Mm-hmm. Everybody
what?
out there, everybody was showing off, just supporting the right to bear arms.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
a whole right to bear arms.
So a
thing.
lot of them was out there too.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, they came out there, so
Oh, but they wanted to have a little friendly conversation.
that's what they wanted. Yeah.
How did that go? How did the conversation go?
It didn't. It didn't.
Oh yeah, because I don't believe that they want they really want it. I think they go where they know they can go and they can agitate people. Because like you said, I've seen those videos too.
Yeah.
But I see where they went to like Cincinnati, they picked the wrong community that day.
Yep. And one of them tried it out there in Richmond where the police had a barrier or whatnot. So he was, flipping off everybody and, doing his thing or whatever.
And see that's
But-
why I can't do it.
But when we went around that corner and we ended up meeting up again and the police wasn't there, man, we ain't who you. That's where,
Yeah.
everything changed. So,
Oh, my
and the police will protect them, the police will protect them. Just like my first mission, I remember the police were protecting the Klan out in D.C. They were going there to make a speech. This was right after the Charlottesville thing, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so they went out there to make a speech, and
The
so
police was protecting them.
yeah. We got a whole video about that too, where you see the big gun line, and they standing out there in their fluorescent vest and all that stuff. Yeah.
So I wonder why did the police feel they needed protection?
Well, their job, the police's job, is to basically keep the peace, is what they
Right.
No,
say.
they're
So
not. They was up there trying to protect their granddad and their dad.
yeah, absolutely.
They was doing.
So
Trying
yeah,
to protect their own.
but they didn't get to make that speech. We made sure they didn't. So that was a
Right.
beautiful thing.
Really?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
do you guys travel to different states?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I mean, we have, especially if we don't have a chapter in that particular city or state, we'll travel and move around.
So what states do you have chapters in?
Won't tell you on camera.
Oh,
No, security reasons. Yeah, we're spread pretty far. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the state you've been to when you had like a real true 60s or 50s type of experience where they was really like
Well, Mississippi. I'd say Mississippi, Milwaukee.
were they like that in Milwaukee too?
Yeah. Yeah. Remember, I told you Michael McGee was there, and so yeah.
I think it was in Mississippi when you guys went, and the Sabrina lady, something I can't think of her name. Oh, black lady, and it was like the chief of police had on his overalls.
Yep.
I said, ain't this about to be?
Yeah.
He had on his overalls.
Yeah.
Like he was about to put on a cap or something.
What you smoke? I said, oh my God. I was looking at that. I said, they are in the sticks.
Yeah.
I said, oh my What's up, family? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Gam and Mz podcast. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Hit that notification button as well. So when we drop a new episode, you'll be first to know. Stay tuned to all things Gam and Mz.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God.
So that was the story of DeMonterio Gibson. So
Okay.
he was the FedEx driver that was
FedEx
shot at
driver,
by
right.
the
Okay.
white man. And we were out there with Elmer Geronimo Pratt Pistol and Rifle Gun Club, led by General Nick Bezel. So yeah, we were out there, and we were actually leaving. He was showing us, going through the emotions and showing us what happened to him.
Right.
And we were actually getting ready to go. We had gotten the car. Now, mind you, we had been chasing after this chief of police all morning. We had went to the police station to try to meet him. We done went all over the place. Then we see him across the street at a gas station in his pickup truck, right?
Oh yeah, pickup truck.
Yeah,
and
pickup
everything,
truck.
too.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
overalls.
yeah. And this is a black police
he
chief
sure
too, right?
was. He sure
Yeah. Well, he was black skinned. I don't know what was going on the inside, but so yeah, we go to march over there to him. He takes off. I said,
Yeah.
okay. So we do get out there with DeMonterio and all them, and he's telling us his story. We about to leave, and here all of a sudden we jump in the car, and here come everybody. I mean, all the police coming. Here he comes, right? So we get out and say, okay, we've been trying to address you all day. So,
right, yeah.
So we spoke our piece to him, and he tried to tell us to leave and get out of there, and, things like that. We chest to chest with him, and,
Oh, so he was trying to tell y'all to leave and all that. So
Yeah,
y'all didn't need the fair-skinned distant cousins then. Y'all had the first cousin out there acting like the distant
right.
Always.
Uncle Ruckus or somebody. Yeah, he was out there in his overalls, and they had their little guns or whatever. We had ours, and hey, I guess y'all want to go home safe too, right? Y'all better chill
Absolutely.
out. So yeah, it was just one of those situations, So
At-risk youth, like, how do you? Because like I was explaining to you before we started, we have a nonprofit, right? And it's for at-risk youth, as well as intervention and prevention of gun violence, right? How, if there is a method or a way that you see that we could kind of like curb the violence that is being committed by those at-risk youth?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there, like, do you guys already have some type of program in place, or, like, what is your take on that?
Yeah, we do a lot of different mentoring type programs, with male and female training, into adulthood type thing. We had a whole 8-week syllabus where we taught the community self-defense, things of that nature. We still teach classes and things like that. We're open to teaching firearm safety, because we know some of our kids are playing with weapons, and our people, a lot of times we will buy the weapons, but we don't really go into the safety portion.
Right.
I even walk by and we see some of our kids out there standing with or some adults too, with whole weapons in their sweatpants and the whole magazine hanging all out the side, no holster, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we use that as a time to educate. This could go off and not only hurt yourself, but somebody else, kids around, whatever, so you got to go through the safety precautions of that. But to answer your question, yeah, we have programs like that help. And I think, they do, while they do help, we have to really get to the parents as well, because these children spend most of their time at home. And if the foundation isn't right, and they got to go home to whatever, the hour that we spend with them might make an impact, but it might not. They're in a position to fail if the home isn't right.
Right.
So a lot of times we spend our time really just talking and educating and getting people together. We teach the village mentality. And we tell people to really think about the village. We teach modesty. We teach a lot of different things, because our people, materialism is one thing that's really just
real.
destroying our community. These little knickknacks and trinkets that we die for and we want to have, and we're always trying to. A lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us in our culture, it's. Fake it till you make it. Try to look like you're wealthy before you're wealthy. When you see people that are really wealthy, they don't look wealthy.
They sure don't.
So yeah, it's a lot of that going on, and we use that these different things, whether it be Jordans, whether it be a brand Gucci, whatever it is, we use these things as a self-esteem, like a self-esteem outfit that we put on. When the self-esteem needs to come from within you, and then everything else be kind of icing on the cake, but we're doing it backwards.
Right.
If we don't have these Jordans, if we don't have this, that, and the third, we feel insignificant. And that's something that we have to train our people and retrain our people mentally to get over.
Right. That leads up to my next question. Like, how important is it to promote Black pride and self-determination?
It's extremely important. It's important that we see ourselves in all aspects of life, but you must know your history and where you're from to even have that. Right. And when you have a education system that's teaching that all you were slaves and enslaved individuals, you don't get to hear about the rest. You don't a lot of times, unless you start searching it for yourself. So it's extremely important for the self-esteem of a Black man and a Black woman to be able to see themselves like, in a certain light.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think if you don't see yourself in whatever you see, if you see yourself in a a dim light, then that's just what it's going to be.
Right.
So we
Right.
have to learn how to think and prop self up.
And with that, that comes from small things like us degrading ourselves from the jump. Using the N word constantly to say hello to each other. Or whatever way we use it. We're starting off with a derogatory term. We're starting off, I even hear people when they, have children and things of that nature. Yeah, I got a little, what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, dude, he just got in the world. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Why are you giving them that? So, we have to rise from that. We have to stop making these excuses of, well, it actually comes from here and it comes from that. Look, we know what it is.
Yeah.
We know what it is. Certain things shouldn't be cleaned up. Just let it be what it is and move on from it and become better, become what you are meant to be.
Right.
And that's not it.
I think what pisses me off is that people use that word and then you get mad if a certain person use that word. Oh, okay, so it's fine for you to use it. And then
What certain person you talking about? Who are you talking about?
White folks.
So you think they should be able to use it if we use it?
No.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is don't use it at all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Don't give a pass. And it goes back to what you just said.
True.
It's an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can say it with a badge of honor. But then if somebody else said that you don't personally like or a certain ethnic group, then it's an issue. No, it should be an issue all the way across the board.
Well, I think that it's an issue if the distant cousins use it because they use it.
Period.
They use it as a demeaning type thing. I mean, no, you shouldn't use it. I don't know. See stuff like that. I think we have bigger issues in the world than who used the word or whatever. If we use the word, but I think we use the word. Well, I ain't gonna say.
Come on with this excuse. Come on with this excuse.
But I'm going to look out for my people. Okay, I'm about to say what. I think we use the word to try to make what was meant for negative to make it more of a positive thing, but we're connecting. So now when the distant cousins try to use it, you know what I'm saying? Because they probably look at it like, oh, they try to use it to, to make us like we're nothing. But now we done took your word. Now we uplifting each other, kind of say. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, kind of in a roundabout way is what I'm saying. But
I get what you're saying.
What about
you
the
making an
songs?
excuse.
Yeah. Because I'm going to defend them. But what about like the
Stick up for her
songs?
people.
Yeah. But what about like the songs? What gets me is a lot of white people listen to rap music, right?
Right.
And in a lot of rap music, they say the N word. So it's like one of those things. Then when they up there doing their videos or whatever, and they singing a song, then you can see them try to skip. Then some of them forget to skip. But when that camera's off and they singing that song, they're not, skipping the word.
Yeah.
But then soon as one that's the part that get me. Soon as one mess up and say the word, then everybody's going in on them. But you liking the money that they spending to buy your music, and you're saying the word in your music. But they're spending money to buy your music. So it's almost like
So we got to break down this in a lot of different ways, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like, okay, so if you said something bad about your mother, right? If you said something bad about your mother and your brother said something bad about your mother, it's all forgiven. Or if they said something, whatever. But if somebody outside that house says something bad about your mother, it's different. Yeah. So when it's said in-house, right? Which, like I said, I don't think it should be said. But if it's said in-house, it's said in-house. And we know what we mean by it.
right.
As the late great Bernie Mac said, it could be, so it could be used in a lot of different ways.
Right.
But when they say it, we don't know what you mean.
Right.
We don't know what you mean. So
you might be trying to take it back.
Right.
You might be talking about what your great granddad is.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, we can't clean up things. And the reason why I say that is because it goes really deep. If we clean up the food that we ate as enslaved individuals, which we have, then we wonder why we all have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all these different things, right? So we've cleaned up something already that they gave us.
Right.
They gave us the leftover meat, the pig, whatever, hog maws, chitlins, all that type of stuff. So they gave us what was called soul food, or what we've turned into soul food, slave food.
Yeah.
Right.
We've turned it in and called it soul food.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so now we have all these issues, and we talking about we're black. You know, black people have high cholesterol. Black people have this. No, you're eating with your mother and what your mother ate, and she's eating what your grandmother ate,
Right.
and it's being passed down over and over and again. But because we've cleaned it up,
Yeah.
it's better. No, it's still slave
Yeah,
food,
yeah.
and it's the same thing with the N word. You know, it's the same thing. It's just we've cleaned it up. But
Yeah.
you know, so
But I'm glad you said that when you said about it was basically slave food to like now we made it soul food, and that's what we do as a culture. Like we can get the bare minimum, we can
Yes.
get some
Yeah.
crop, and
gonna make it into
we're gonna
something.
make it into something.
yes.
So, with that being said, what are some of the challenges that you guys have had as far as an organization? If you could think of like maybe 2 or 3 things that it was a challenge, but now you guys have overcame it.
I know one challenge that I don't think we will. I don't know if we'll ever overcome is when we go to a certain place that we tell people not to go to because they've treated our people wrong,
Okay.
and we decide to take action on that place. Our people will still go to it, and that's what keeps it open.
Yes.
You know, and we can only sit there and you know, babysit that place for so long. You know what I
Right.
mean? But that's one of the challenges. You know, I do wish if once we say, hey, they
Don't
treat
want it, yeah.
but here go what we hear is, hey, well, they ain't never did me wrong. Well,
Yeah.
that's what we talking about with the village mentality.
Yeah.
You know, they've never done you wrong, but they did your sister wrong.
Right, that's right.
But black, you know, some of us, I don't know her. You know, it's like, no.
Yeah.
What, you know, it shouldn't be like that. We have to think better. If we don't have that type of cohesive mindset, and you know,
Yeah, and you know, as a culture, we don't have that. Like a lot of the other cultures, they have that.
right?
They partner up together, even down to like with the nail shops. You know, they the only ones that had the nail shops.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to a nail shop and you act out in that nail shop and they tell you not to come back, when you try to go to the one next door or the one in the next shopping center, they're gonna tell you the same thing because the other one over there already told you.
Yep.
And they're gonna,
You know,
stick to
but
it.
we're gonna be like, come on, let me get that. Come on, you can come sit in my chair, and then be the person doing the nails right next to you.
That's how I go.
Not even talking about the next shopping center. They sitting right next to you, and you would do their nails.
And I
I
think
don't know.
that's
We just don't do that.
no, we don't. But and I think that's one of the things that kind of like ticked me off is like you guys, like I've seen you guys, like people call you guys out and go to a restaurant or something or whatever, pizza shop. I'm gonna say pizza shop.
Yeah,
And,
we've been there.
right. And y'all go there and y'all protest, and it's like people out and they like so excited. They, you know, they recording, everybody's live, and it's like it's hot and it's popping. But and you're saying, you know, just like you're telling us, you told them like, don't go in there if people are doing X, Y, and Z. You don't like the way they're treating you. You know, we're the one keeping these people establishments open.
Right.
So, with that being said, what can we do better to educate our community, to teach those who have that village mentality to kind of break it?
It's hard because right now we move out of convenience. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
one thing that we've done is we've indoctrinated our oppressors' mindset. We don't come from a culture of individualism. You know, we weren't that. We didn't walk around just by ourselves, taking over stuff, taking other people's stuff. We shared with each other, with our tribes and the neighboring tribes. And yeah, maybe we'd have some disagreements and fights with the other tribes, but you know, we weren't just trying to just completely demolish and take over other places. We didn't, you know, just go sell to other places to take them over and do things like
Right.
that. That wasn't what we did.
Right.
But after we are going through chattel slavery and things of that nature, we've adopted a lot of their characteristics. And now we walk around here in America as if we are them, as if we're, you know, we could just, you know, just be by ourselves and do what we want to do and just have that singular mindset when no other group of people does. Nobody else does that.
Right.
Even the oppressors don't do that. They all, whether they disagree about whatever, they all have one agreement, you know, and that's to try to stay on top. So we have to do better with that. You know, we have to really spread that word. And like even with the DEI stuff, when you look at that, we need to I want your opinion too. Tell me, what do you think about the blackout? Right? What do you think about that? Everybody talking about the blackout
On February 28th?
Yes. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think it's going to happen myself, but
okay.
I think it's going to happen.
All right.
I think it's going to happen. I think that we're at the point now and it goes back to us as a culture. We don't really feel a certain type of way until it affect us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially our pockets. Mm-hmm. So that's when, you know, we all get involved, right? So I think that I think it's going to happen. I'm looking at Target now, like what they're doing at Target now. Like Target is losing a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think that people are still going? Yes, but not as much as, you know, as they were. Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest, the DEI, whatever it's called, I didn't even know what it was at first until 47 got in office and all this stuff had started trickling down, and I didn't know that we were like number 5 or maybe number 6 or maybe 7. Mm-hmm. Like the first one is the whites who actually benefit from this program. So for me, it's like for him, he doesn't see a color. It's just whatever he doesn't want, I don't want it. He just want to, you know, destroy. But the blackout, I think it's going to happen.
You do?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think if it does happen, right? Let's just say it does happen, right? Let's say, because I do remember during the football season, right, you couldn't even get black folks to stop watching football for one day, right? So let's say it does happen, okay? That's a snow day to Target or whoever else. So what? They lose money for a day or two. This is something that has to happen for at least 2 to 3 months.
Right.
We can't black out one day.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't nobody care. Imagine Dr. Martin Luther King doing a boycott for one day.
Right.
You think them buses wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like one day? So my thing is, it has to go to at least for a duration of at least 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
And we have places that are alternatives that still support DEI initiatives. So why not just go to those? That's why we can no longer just move out of convenience because it's closer or because whatever, you know. And that's one thing to your other question that you asked earlier. What's the difference between then and now? When I said our people are different, you know, imagine me calling you, right, and saying, "Hey, put on your church clothes. We're gonna walk to Richmond."
Happen.
You see what I'm saying?
I ain't going to church today.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
you ain't going to church today.
I ain't going to church today. I'm gonna watch it on convenience. I'm gonna watch it on TV. I'm watching on my phone. Convenience.
Martin Luther King and all them, they would get in their little, you know, the women had their little heels and whatnot. The men had the hard bottoms, they ties and whatever, and they gone. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't that. Yeah. We ain't that people. You know. So yes, it's harder. You know, it's harder for us to get the job done. Because our people ain't gonna show up for it, and you know, even, you know, in normal clothes, you know what I'm saying. So it becomes very, very, very hard. But there are alternatives and different places we can go that support us, and we need to support them. If these places, like I believe Costco was one of them, but if these places are supporting us and saying, hey, we're gonna keep these initiatives, we're gonna keep these programs. You know, they could cut it and save some money, but they saying they're going to keep them. So why can't we go and support them? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't we do that? So that's a problem to me. We definitely need to support.
Yeah, it was a problem to me because I found that kind of ironic. As soon as he said it, these businesses were so willing and quickly to say, okay, stop. That means you was only doing it because you had to.
Yeah.
Not because
right.
of, you know, your morals and your beliefs, but because you had to.
Right. So why would you ever go back there again?
Yeah, so that means
you see what I'm saying?
You really want me there?
No,
right.
Absolutely not.
And that's the thing, like, and those are major companies where the money isn't staying in the community. You know what I'm saying? So like you have like you said, you have a lot of places now that provide the same type of service, but we want to go to the big names and make their pockets better. And you have somebody right here that providing the same service or same, whatever, and we want to give it to the big people.
Right.
So our black dollars are very important. Mm-hmm. But like you said, people are on convenience. And I think that's the times that we're in is like, nobody want to put in the work. They want everything quick, microwave. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So what's next for you guys as far as the organization?
Next we have our Mammy Till Mobley Mother's Day extravaganza, where we take out mothers who have lost a child to violence and we get them reacclimated to, just being back in society, because a lot of times depression sets in and, you've lost a child, things of that nature. So, that's what we have coming up next around Mother's Day. So definitely if you have lost a child, please, contact us.
So how heavy is it though, doing the work that you do, like, and being bombarded with everybody else's problems and issues, and then you having your own personal issues? Like, how do you guys, kind of like pivot from that? I can see that could be kind of overwhelming.
It is. Yeah. You got to compartmentalize and balance. It's really just that. It's almost like I said, really, you just have to look at it like a job. When everything in life happens, you're gonna end up back at work. You're gonna go to work. So, wherever you go, whether people are going to church or whatever your priority is in life, so we treat it as that. We treat it as our priority to be out there and to help out our people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I have enjoyed our conversation, and
we done already.
I've learned.
Hold on, we got a lot to get into.
We got a lot to get to.
Yeah.
Okay, but then say
what's going on?
Okay.
There's a lot going on out here.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so tell. I didn't want to hold you too long. So but since you're willing.
Yeah.
And I can pivot at any moment. I can kick it in overdrive.
Okay.
So with that being said, tell us what's on your mind.
What's on my mind? Well, I want to talk at least about the DEI situation.
Okay.
It's heavy in our communities and also with affirmative action, right? Because they say affirmative action has been taken away as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I want our people, because we have a miseducation on that a little bit, right? There's some misconceptions on even affirmative action, and it was created simply so that we would not be discriminated against. So if we didn't have, if we did apply for this job or whatever, whatnot, it wasn't made to be the main thing that got us the job. Right. So when you go to the ceiling, what is it called? The ceiling commission report, right? The ceiling commission report of 1995. Right, came out and it said white men are 43% of the Fortune 2000 workforce, but they are 95% of the managers holding managerial positions. So what that's saying is they're not affected.
Right.
They're not affected by affirmative action. It doesn't even bother them. So why take it away? You see what I'm saying? DEI, why take it away? For what? Even the Supreme Court spoke on it, and the Supreme Court said that if a affirmative action program or any program like it, it's deemed to be illegal if an unqualified person gets a job over a qualified person. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not, they switched it on us. It's like a bait and switch. They switched it on us and they got us thinking that, oh yeah, well, affirmative action, I'm getting this job because I'm black or, whatever would happen.
Right.
No, it says even there, it should be illegal if that happens. It's only there so that you can be looked at for the job.
Right.
If you're qualified.
If you're qualified, but you weren't even being looked at before because you were black.
Right.
So it was put there for that reason.
Right. Don't look at the color, look at the qualifications.
Look at the qualifications. And therefore now we have a legal thing to stand on if they don't, You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And even with that, it's still kind of hard to prove because you got to prove that you didn't get the job because of your complexion versus your qualifications, because
Correct.
they can easily pick somebody else
Mhm.
that just so happened to be white, but they could honestly really have the qualifications. Now your qualifications could be similar, you know what I'm saying, or just as good, but that doesn't mean you the perfect fit for the job.
correct.
So that would still be kind of hard to prove. So it's there, but it's like, is it really there? It's just something to be like, shh, 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 there you go.
Yeah,
know what I'm
and
saying?
it does happen, but it does at least give you a leg to stand on, because before you had nothing.
Right.
Before it was like, okay, well, especially if you look around the workforce and you see it's all white faces and
you
ain't
still
nobody
do.
black in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like,
For the
well,
most part, you still do.
yeah, and your qualifications are to a certain level. Why is there nobody in these positions?
Right.
So that's what it's there for, and I think we need to realize and recognize that, because that was something that was put together, and it was needed, and it's still needed.
Yeah.
So that's
So why do you think Donald decided to take that away?
You keep calling this man Donald. I cannot.
That's his name. That's what his mama named him.
he said, your mama named you Donald. I'm gonna call you Donald.
I'm gonna call you Donald. She ain't definitely, that man is definitely way older than her.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
Yeah, I think he decided to take that away. Let's say for instance he's not a racist, right? Let's just say he's not a racist.
I think he's
He's at least a classist.
Definitely.
He's
I was
for
gonna
the
say,
rich.
I think he's for the rich. That's
Yeah,
exactly
he's
what
for
I'm
the
saying.
rich. He's for his all the little people that he has around him. He wants to keep the rich rich. Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
He's for the rich.
Right. So he does everything he can to tear that apart, and make sure that they can make their money.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially on the back end of a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So he cuts a lot of different programs to save money in other different ways.
Right.
He everybody always said he's like a businessman and he's trying to run it like a business, but
Yeah, that's true.
He's created a lot of debt,
He has.
Yes.
Yeah, so
But you got to realize he's also a businessman that over all of these years, even with his casinos and everything, has always filed bankruptcy too.
yeah.
So he creates debt, but
And
as
that-
he's creating debt, he still makes
he don't-
money.
he don't
Yep.
pay-
Because
yeah.
he's doing stuff on the back end, getting money,
Absolutely.
but he's creating debt, then he'll file bankruptcy, then he'll do it all over again. So he's running the country just like how he ran the towers.
Yeah.
Now.
You know what I'm saying? Right, he ran
Now.
them down.
But let me ask y'all this though. In all fairness though, now, if that was your group of people, regardless if they are rich, if they are poor, that's your group of people. Will you look out for your group of people?
Yeah.
Well, I said on a level of morality
Be a little different, yeah.
and ethics, I always will look out for my people. Of course, that is a thing that is incumbent for I think for all of us to do. But that doesn't mean push someone else down or exclude them.
Right.
That doesn't mean I wouldn't treat someone that in a way that I don't want to be treated. Is my point. It's the simple old golden rule, I guess you could call it. So yeah.
I definitely feel you on that. I was just asking because I know a lot of people be like, he for his people. But if we were in position, I'll be for my people too. I just would be a little more tasteful with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't, just like you said, just push everybody else out the way and lift my people up. Now I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be fair.
I like the fact that he is just straightforward and upfront about it. Don't
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, don't do it behind my back. Hey, if you're gonna stab me, I guess stab me in the chest. But yeah, a lot of stuff that he's doing is sickening.
I think it's the way he's doing it.
Well, it's the American way.
Yeah.
People don't want to act like that's the truth.
Yeah.
But it's the American way. They've been doing this since the beginning. And that's just when they're talking about the migrants, right? So they're talking about all the stuff with the migrants and what's going to happen with them. He right now is trying to even take not just the immigrants and migrants that he that's caught for doing criminal activity or whatever it is. He's trying to even take the ones that are already in the prison system, and he's going to take them, and he's building a mass prison that's supposed to hold 30,000 individuals over in Guantanamo Bay. So he's building a prison over there, and he's pulling people over to Guantanamo Bay. Now,
and that's private money.
Yeah. And then
So it's like, who's really building a business and connecting him with it? He's
right,
getting
but
something.
think about this now. So he doesn't want to do a whole lot of. He's trying to bring everything back to America, right? That's the whole thing.
Making America great again.
Yeah. But he's outsourcing the inmates because El Salvador has said that they will take the inmates for a fee. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's going to outsource the inmates to El Salvador, and they're going to take them for a fee. And they said they don't even have to just take the migrants. They'll take any culture of any inmate. So that means somebody that you got locked up, in your family could be over there. You see what I'm saying?
Salvador.
So yeah, he's doing all of that. And then even the people he's talking about kicking out the country and all that, he's been talking to Panama, and I forget the other name of the other place, but they're talking about they'll accept certain people. Venezuela has said that they're gonna they'll accept their gang members and even pay for the transportation for them to come back out of prison and things of that nature.
That's so crazy though, because with the ICE detainees, with the money they were getting from the federal government, they were getting that money too to house those detainees too. So now he's basically doing the same thing, but he just outsourced. So he's definitely getting to cut back. Yeah. I mean, all of his people are eating. Like,
yeah, you want to know how grotesque this can get, right? So look at the private prison system, right? The private prison system, what they do, and this is wild in itself, but the first privatized prison was in 1844 in Louisiana, right? And their first thing that they did was they were making clothes for the enslaved people. This was 9 years after they opened, right? So they started making clothes for the enslaved people. So they were making money off of that. Then they took the enslaved people, right, and they outsourced them to the railroad company and had them doing the railroad stuff. Then they also outsourced them to the coal miners and had them digging in the coal mines, right? And then they profit off of them, but don't pay the people nothing, right? Of course, because slavery. So this has been happening for a long time, and then it gets even deeper because you go to you jump forward and you find out that the plantations that were in the South, they built prisons or turned some of them plantations into prisons, and they built prisons on those plantation lands and things of that nature, right? And then that's where you come up with stuff like black codes and different things of that nature, right? And so now you see what they're doing is now they're giving you laws that are targeting your black people, and then they go by the 13th Amendment and say, well, you're allowed to be a slave as long as if you committed a crime. Right. So if you committed a crime, slavery still exists. Right. So then they just make laws to grab you, and then they put you back in where they got you from, the field. It put you back in,
that's why
into the
glad
prison.
I wasn't born during that time.
But it's happening now.
That's still
So if we move forward, right? We move forward to let's go to the 80s, right? Let's go to the 80s, and that so happened. That's when the CIA was allowing to turn the other eye, a blind eye, for drugs to come into the community. Right then in the 80s, that's when you have the Reagan era, where you have the war on drugs, right? So you have the war on drugs. Why is that? And that's where the private prisons really started exploding, and they started building more prisons. Why? Because you have to have prisons to lock these people up. So you've given the black people drugs to sell that were impoverished. You give the impoverished people that you had with redlining and all that, you put them in one place to where they couldn't get out of that place. And then they're impoverished. You give them drugs to sell so they can get a little money. They get a little money, and then you catch them for selling drugs, make it illegal, lock them up.
Then you take the money that you catch them with.
Then you take the money that you catch them with, you done lock them up, right? You done killed 2 birds with one stone, maybe 3, because that person, they had to have a war in the streets. They done killed the black man. One's dead, one go to jail. The kids are left to be doing whatever. So you're getting over a 2-for-1 special, right? So we have all of that going on.
2-for-1 special.
Yeah, that's what they're getting with us.
Right.
And our kids are still doing it. So we need to teach them and let them understand it's still going on, and this is an actual plan. But there's so much confusion on social media that they think it's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. These things are documented, right? So when we get to that in the 80s and we see our people going through that, and we see our people getting locked up in these prisons, it gets even worse because those prisons, the way they stay open is because they have to keep a certain amount of beds full,
Yep, that's
right?
it.
So what they do is they lobby to the legislators,
Yeah.
and they give campaign funds to targeting the judges.
The judges, yeah.
So what is what are they going to do? See, it's a big circle.
And then the judges get kickbacks.
Right. So when that all happens and you go in front of that judge and you think you're going to get that good old American justice and you're going and you're going to get some
Which one I owe today? Which one I got to owe today? Yeah.
He knows how they're going to save money. He knows who he owes money to. He knows who got him in that seat, and he's going to put them where they need to be. So it's a big circle of F you.
That don't include,
You know, so we need to really do better with the education and teaching our people and really sitting and talking to our people. That's why I love your podcast, because we're able to educate so many people, and so many people are able to sit and really digest the things that you guys have. So this is an important platform, and you guys use it for a good thing. So yeah, it's dope.
You know what? And I got to smile on it because I was telling somebody the other day that people have just like you said, everybody can get involved. Everybody has a platform. Everybody has an influence, whether it's a positive influence or a negative influence. But I just feel like if you have some type of platform, you definitely should be trying to educate. You definitely should be trying to put out good stuff, because I feel like when you're talking about things that push the culture forward, it's always a plus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But if we keep just talking about things among ourselves, we're not doing anything. We're not doing our part. So I wanted to ask you, I forgot my question that quick. Dang. You said,
yeah,
pretty much. My question was, being that you are, I forgot. I'm gonna have to cut that. I pretty forgot my question. It'll come to me in a minute.
Yeah, but
I had to cut that. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I was about to say, speaking on with the jails and stuff, see, I say that for all of them because I be just suspicious about all of them. And then plus, it could be that maybe I watch too much TV or whatever. But them jails that are private, them people have to get those beds filled, right? So you have to make connections, just like you said. You have to make those connections.
Right.
And the best person to make those connections with are the judges.
Yep.
Or the DA or the Commonwealth Attorney, depending on your area. You have to make those connections with those people, because those are the people that can push that to get your beds full.
Right.
And then it's like, they give you a cutback. So, and it's like, a lot of people don't believe that. They be like, oh no, da-da-da, but they do. Just like with the other one that was running for, number 47?
The lady?
Harris, yeah. Just like with her husband owns a prison.
Well, she can't help that.
Part of that. No, she can't help that, but she knew that when she married him. So, and then with
So
her
she's supposed
being,
to not marry him because he
No, she need that money. She need that money. I'm not telling her not to get her coins. No, but at the same time, I think that was a lot of issue too with people, with her.
No, I think with her, they didn't want.
They didn't want her.
A
lot
woman.
of people said they didn't trust her. Then they went back and brought up her record from when she was a DA.
People change.
I know people change, but a lot of people still looked at that fact. They brought up her record. And they looked at the fact like,
Let's go get it. That's some bull crap. I just think that America was not ready for a woman
that could
president,
be her too,
and
but
then
it's also,
a black on
what
top
do
of
you
that.
think?
About which thing?
Either.
I think about, like you said, getting your coins, right? So, once again, that's what I'm talking about with the village mentality.
Yeah.
Right? So, my question would be, what is the difference between a rat and a sellout?
Nothing really.
Right? It's about the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing something to gain personally
Yeah.
while you give up your people, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not talking about simply just Miss Harris, but our entertainers, whoever, if you're out here misleading, and this goes back to the N word with the music and all that, if you're out here misleading our people and you're continuously selling something that you don't even live for real.
Right.
You out here calling women this, that, and the third, whatever, all of them, this, that, and don't trust them, but you married.
Right.
Right. All these different things. You're sending a certain message. You might as well go ahead and put a white hood on your face and burn a cross in somebody's yard, because it's the same thing. There's no different. Right. So when I say there's no difference in a sellout and a rat, that's what I mean. Some of our entertainers are selling themselves out.
Yeah.
Just by doing normal stuff, like you said, getting a check.
Into that.
So that's a problem when we think of the village mentality. I'm not saying you can't get money, but all money ain't good money, and we have to come to a point, and that's why I respect certain individuals that are of different cultures, where I see that they, instead of the money, it's the morals.
Right.
And if we continue to lose our morals and constantly go for what's important, and we consider that money,
dollar,
that's a problem. We're gonna keep losing.
Yeah.
We individually may win here and there with whatever. You may get some money and get your mom a house and get your grandkids right, or whatever the case may be, but you've misled thousands.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I don't see it being worth it. But to some others it may be. Yeah.
So now there's the second part of that. Do you think that's why she didn't win the presidency, because of that?
Well, no, I think she didn't win because, for one, there was a lot against her in the beginning, whether it was just the allegations alone. Yeah. I think really crippled her in the beginning. I think also because by her being a black woman, I think that was an issue, because they didn't want a black man. They didn't want nobody black in there anyway. Yeah. But then on top of that, she's a woman. I just don't think that a lot of people were ready for that. Yeah. And even black folks, I know plenty of black folks
that wasn't. Black folks wasn't ready for
they wasn't feeling it, and so she was kind of behind the mark.
Yeah. And I think I still think the Democrats had something to do with that, because she was a couple of days short of 90 days, and y'all want pull off this massive, miracle, basically.
I think it was just meant for him to win, because each time he won, the Democrats had a woman to run against him. And they weren't ready for the white woman, and they weren't ready for the black woman.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that they don't really had their stuff together when it comes to Democrats. I really think, like, they just talk a lot of stuff or whatever, but some stuff is like for instance with him, he was 45. Mm-hmm. From when he left 45, he was still campaigning. You know what I'm saying? He was still outside.
Yeah, he was going to court,
so he was already putting his work in. He was already showing you he was already telling you what he wanted to do, whatever. So it's like with them knowing that Biden should have been gone. They should have started her at least a year before. Mm-hmm. They had him in place. That new dude was like, he ain't all there. Like,
and he had a cult following. He has a cult following. Like it's gonna be, he didn't have to do much. He didn't have to campaign much. Them people was running up in
he had the whole following.
Yeah, he has a very, very good marketing. And he really appeals to the
average black,
the less intelligent or intellectual white man.
Yeah.
Okay.
They love him. They love him. They don't care what he can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
They really they love him, and the fact that he says dumb stuff,
they go with it.
It's like, oh my God, makes you love him even more.
Yeah.
So
with him, I think by a lot of us not voting, it's just like you said, like people they wasn't ready for whatever they wasn't ready for. We held our votes. And then it reminds me of, I think it was like 2008 when Diddy and all them was doing like Rock the Vote. And they had like 18 to 24, all these people come out and vote. It was the same thing for 47. Mm-hmm. He had people, first time voters who hadn't voted
Yeah.
ever.
And they always go grab one of our little sellout entertainers.
Yeah.
You know,
Man, that's
get one of us to come out there and act
prime
a fool with 'em.
example. Snoop. Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about this situation?
It was disgusting. I've never liked Snoop anyway. Just to be on the record, I just really I really haven't. You know what I mean? Like he's always doing something a little weird. But the fact is though, they've got the video of him just calling out people for actually supporting, and then he's out there doing his thing, getting his coins, getting his bag, whatever he was doing. Yeah, it's a horrible situation. I think it looks crazy. I respect more like what 50 Cent said. He was just like, look, politics, I'm gonna just stay out of it. Regardless of what he thought, whatever, whether he did it for black folks or whatever, he was smart enough to know I'm gonna just step back, because and I think he said they offered him about like $3 million or something crazy like that. But
And I think they offered that because it's one of those things. Oh, if we put this money in front of them, hold it up. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I want to get it."
Well, our people, for whatever reason, the white folks do it to us too, where they pander, and who was it? Hillary Clinton, I think, did the hot sauce in her bag. Wasn't that her?
Yeah,
who came up?
No, that was Harris.
That was it. No, that wasn't Harris. Was it?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was Hillary.
It was one of the ladies.
Yeah. She come in there with the hot sauce in her bag.
I think it was her because I was doing
trying to relate. Trying to relate to something in our culture. I think
it was her because she said she liked hot sauce.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? And then here come Harris. I think she had Meg up there popping out and doing whatever.
Yeah.
Look, and the fact that we can sit there and give our vote up, that's simple, because they got somebody who don't care about nothing, who's raunchy and does whatever, they don't do nothing for that's what made you cast your vote, because she got Meg on her side, or whatever other entertainer they put out there. It's trash. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We got to be better than that. We got to start knowing what are you actually fighting for? What is each candidate's goal? What are they trying to get changed for the black people? Mm-hmm. What is actually happening? Yeah. You got to know what their campaign is about. Yeah. No, you can't just say who Clinton played the saxophone or something, or trumpet, whatever he did. Oh, he got some soul in him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, come on, stop it. Yeah. They do the little nay dance or something, whatever. And, oh my God, they was doing one of them did it, went up there and he got some soul in him, whatever dance they do up there. Then all of a sudden, now we voting for him. No, we can't keep doing that. We can't do it because they know some rap music or they sat and studied a little song or something. And that's ridiculous. We got to stop that.
You're absolutely right, and I think that's what it was for, like, with Harris too. We didn't know what she was really pushing. Mm-mm. Like, it was to me, it's like she was unclear. Like, she kept pushing abortion. I was like, what? Like, you think of something else? Like, so I just think overall it was just a poor campaign. Yeah, it was a lot of. Yeah, she did raise a lot of money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In a short period of time, yes, she did. But I just think that it was a reason why that man won, and and I think it's a lesson that needs to be learned from this. And if we don't get it together, I think we're gonna do ourselves more of a disservice than he is.
I agree,
because we're gonna fall apart.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It's just a lot of stuff that went wrong with that, though. Just like even when President Obama was running, he was worried about if he was born in Africa, but now he has a whole man in there with him that we know for a fact was born in Africa.
Yep.
Ooh. That's pretty much
Musk.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the president. That's really who's the president.
Did
you see that video where Musk's son asked Donald why was he sitting in the president chair and he's not the president?
Oh yeah.
Where did his little boy get that from?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's always about kicking people out and foreigners or whatever, but in that case, Musk needs to go.
Right.
His wife needs to go.
Kids.
All of them. Yeah, anybody from here. The funny thing about that, though. The funny
thing about it, I read, I Googled his mother the other day. Isn't it strange that she was an immigrant herself, or her parents were too?
Well, my thing with that, though, is there, at this point, I guess there should be some type of checks and balances on who's in the United States. But with that said, I can't tell anyone who can be here when the people telling people who should be here shouldn't be here.
Right.
Exactly. This is stolen land.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are you to tell some folks they can't be here for real? I mean, if we're really, if your true plan is to clean up America, if your true plan is to get those that don't belong here out of America, then there should be nothing but the indigenous people left.
Right.
They shouldn't be here. Clean all of them out.
Yeah.
You know, give us a ticket. Show give us another free boat ride and let us go back where we supposed to be. You know
I don't want to go.
But
I had the village mentality on that. No, sir, I don't want to go because I don't want to go to a country that I don't even know either. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like I look at.
You go on trips and go to other countries,
right? And then that's fine.
And you don't know nothing about them.
But I go and come back home. I'm always game to go somewhere.
Girl, you a visitor.
But I love to come back.
There you go.
Home.
Matter of fact, you're a captive.
In my own bed. Well,
you're actually a captive.
Say what y'all want. I want to be home in my own bed. I don't want to be somewhere
when you get your bed over there, you will be going home. Yeah,
it's the same bed. I promise you.
Right,
same mattress.
Same thing.
Absolutely
they ship
not.
it on over there. They ship it over here. They can ship it back.
I don't want it. I don't want to go. But let me tell you, like this is like I seen where he's 47 saying, well, we only removing those who are illegally over here or who have broken the law. But you're going into schools
but he done broke the law
and taking kids and separating them from their parents or separate, and it's like you're going to send them where to a place that they don't know anything about. I think that's so absurd to me.
Yeah, I agree. When we talk about the illegals, now there is a clause that's in there where it's defined as anyone that is basically broken the law. So
it could be driving, anything.
It could be anything. Anything they deem to be a certain type of illegal action could turn somebody from an immigrant to a migrant or whatever. They can play around with it, and that's one thing I noticed that they're doing is the terms they like to use. Migrant doesn't have a legal definition. Immigrant, refugee, there's a few others. They have actual definitions of what that is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when you have a migrant,
wordplay.
It's creative wordplay of a person that moves about. Comes from one place to another, right? When you have an immigrant, it's a person that comes from one place to another that with the intentions on staying there.
Right.
They may have a passport or a green card or some of that nature. Migrants kind of move around, so there's no real
home for them.
You're right. So therefore, they can call them migrants and use a certain type of talk with it. And now, if you've broken this law or that law or whatever, maybe they're in the middle of getting whatever. You just never know. But there's a lot of gray area in that term. So, we have to be careful with a lot of what he's doing and what the wordplay is that he's using for individuals, because you have to remember it happened to us.
Right.
So I remember when around the 9/11 time when it was all about, the Middle East, and they would go up and ask black people, should we profile Arabs or Middle Eastern people? And black people were so scared. Oh, yeah, we should. Well, how dare? What the hell happened? Like, how dare you? You've been profiled your whole life. Now, how you gonna profile them because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's the same thing, and that's why I said we have to get the oppressor's mind out of our mind. Yeah. We can't continue to think like them. We're not just American citizens. We are kidnapped folks. We've been held hostage. So. We have to realize that. We got to realize what's going on. We have to know the history. If we don't know it, and I know a lot of people are like, I don't care about history. I'm about this. I'm about getting my money and whatever. Look, if you don't know the history of what they say, you're destined to repeat it.
Yeah.
Well, look what's happening. And because we don't know, we're lost, you know, and we divide ourselves into so many different groups. It's hard for us to fight as one. And what we were talking about earlier with us being one cohesive race of people, it's hard because we separate ourselves. We separate in at least 7 groups. You know, we do light against the dark. We do old against the young, right? We do all these different things. We do religion, politics. We male versus female. Yeah, I mean it's so much, you know, and just anything we can find because we lost our identity. Well, it was taken from us. We didn't lose anything. It was taken from us.
That's sad.
Right. So since your identity's taken away, we're constantly looking to find it.
Trying to find us.
And while we're finding it, we're saying, oh no, this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. We're all fighting. We need to just all realize we are black in America and we need to bond under the melanin of our skin, and that's it. And leave it at that. That's it. You know, you're my brother, you're my sister, simply because we bond from this. Nothing more. Whatever you believe and all these other different things you got going on, whatever.
Because it ain't cause nothing but division.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, well.
Yep.
Look, but hold on, let me tell him something. We not part of his organization, so now he's telling me, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and wrap it up now because he's ready.
Nah, hey, you got something else? I'm good. I'm good. You know, when you called, I said, hey, I'm coming, and hey, we gonna talk.
Yeah, that's
so
it. I love it. So we always ask our guests how their time has been since they've been on Way to Gam Minute, and we want to look at that camera right here, and tell the viewers how your time has been since you've been up here this evening for the 4th or 3rd time.
Yes, my time at Way to Gam Minute has been a great, amazing time. It's been a revolutionary time. We've enjoyed ourselves. We've had a great conversation. We've all sat and smiled, laughed, had serious conversations. And if you ain't watching Way to Gam Minute, you ain't watching a damn thing. Right?
Love it. So with that being said, stay tuned to all things Way to Gam Minute. Good night.